Welcome to another episode of NBA Live 98 2018 Golden State Warriors Season Mode. I am Mattheus, a sports gamer, back with another video. If you're new to this series, if you're into this channel, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos. I will make these videos as many times as I can. I want to speed up through the entire series just so I can advance and continue to go through the other series, and so on and so forth. So why am I showing you this video? I mean, we're not facing a division rival, we're not facing the Jazz, we're not facing the Bulls, we're facing the Cleveland Cavaliers in 1998. Well, you must see episode 1 of this series if you really want to see the hint that I gave you, which was that there is one player from the 2018 season that's gonna be, joining them on this trip. Or actually, joining them would not be the right word, but actually the right word would be that they would be, this person would be facing the Cleveland. He would be facing the Golden State Warriors, and he was from the Cavaliers at the time before the offseason began. So, if you haven't guessed which player it is, it's LeBron James. I mean, why did I want him to be in this series? Well, I really wanted, to have like a storyline that LeBron James has been facing the Warriors over the past 4 NBA Finals, and he understands that this is the best time to beat the Golden State Warriors, and he also knew that he had a better chance of beating them in this era now that they have a better team. Or should I say, they actually have a team, and he's not forced to do all the work by himself. So that's where we kind of go in this storyline, in this scenario. Give it kind of an interesting twist. So we're gonna have a few times where we're gonna see the Warriors face a Cleveland Cavaliers with LeBron James and a different Cleveland Cavaliers team, a much better Cleveland Cavaliers team on that regard. When they had those uniforms back in the day, when they were not when they didn't have the colors that they had right now, when they had different colors back then, when they were black, blue, and white or something like that. I don't know, whatever. Maybe give it that type of twist. Maybe give it more immersion to this series. Maybe it has ruined it a little bit. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I would really like to hear what you guys have to say about that. I mean, I really would like to learn your opinion on what you think about this series so far, on the fact that the Warriors are playing in 1998, on the fact that LeBron has gone himself to 1998, on the fact that they are forced to play a kind of different style of play. At the end of the season, I'm going to show you the stats that they have for the entire season, what stats each player has, and that type of stuff. And you will see that there will be a few similarities between the stats that they have in this game and the stats that they have in real life. The difference being that their free throw percentage won't be as high as it is in real life. That will be one. Another one will be that their 3-point shooting stats will not be the same. Third would be that their assist number on each player might be different. Some players might have their assist numbers higher, some might have it lower, because back in the day, stats were kind of different for each position. I just cannot speak right now. Position. Back in the day, what position you played a bigger mark on how you played the sport back in the day, right? Like right now in today's NBA, in today's basketball, like you can be of whatever position you want to be, and do a little bit of everything. Back then, if you did something, if you did something, something different, if you did something, I just cannot speak today. I don't know what's going on. If you did something that kind of marked yourself as a player from a certain position, then you would play that particular position. That would be the case back in the day. Like if you were a pass first type of player, you would be a point guard. If you were a guy that loved to score baskets like there was no tomorrow, you would be a shooting guard. If you were the kind of guy that would do a little bit of everything, then you would be a you would be a small forward. Or if you did a little bit of everything but like to play down low, and you know, if you love to play down low and you had the height to play power forward, then you could do so. And you would be the center of the team if you were the highest guy on the court at all times. Like if you had the ability to rebound the ball and you were the biggest guy on the court at all times, at least for your team, then you would be the center, at least back in the day. But right now in 2018, I think that the way you play doesn't necessarily mark the way. The way you play doesn't necessarily mark you as a certain player in a certain position, or the height that, or the height height is no longer a factor on positioning in the NBA, or it isn't as much of a factor as it was back in the day, because you could be a 6'6", 6'6" point guard like Sean Livingston, or you could be what some would say it's like a 6'11" point guard in Giannis Antetokounmpo, where you create mismatch nightmares on the defense and all that type of stuff. You know, stuff like that. You know, small stuff like that really make the game look a lot different than it is right now. And also another thing, like back in the day, players, like, there would be a fair share amount of 3-pointers, but today, in comparison to back in 1998, you would say, well, damn, man, like somewhere along the way, like, people just started to shoot threes like it was a necessary thing in order for a team to win games. And even when you look at the teams that do the best, have the best records in the NBA, like, you would kind of see that right now the 3-point shot has become a necessity in order to win games. Like, you look at teams like the Warriors, the Rockets, and these teams, like, they're dependent on a 3-point shot. And the thing is, these two teams have had winning seasons so far. Like, these two teams are two of the best teams in the NBA right now. The same thing you can say about the Spurs. Actually, the Spurs before Kawhi Leonard decided to do what he did last year. Like, this was a team that could shoot threes all day if they wanted to, and they won games because of it. Like, we don't even have to say, you know, it's been a transition that has taken 20 years in the making. If not, you could say this has been a transition that has practically happened overnight, if you kind of think about it. Because you look back at just the 2014 NBA Finals. Sure, there were a fair share amount of 3-pointers, and 3-point shooting records were being broken by Danny Green in the NBA Finals. But it didn't get as intense as it has over the past few years, ever since the Warriors have become the dynasty of the current dynasty of the NBA. Like maybe like you had this thing where, you know, analytics folks and experts and whatever people that knew a lot about the NBA would say, oh, jump shooting teams are, they're bad. I mean, they may have their flashes, but they're never gonna turn into a championship team. Usually that would have been the case, but ever since the Warriors became champions in 2015, like, the narrative has changed in a snap. Like, if you want to win games right now, you gotta have a 3-point shooting team, or at the very least, you gotta have people who shoot the three at a very good rate, but not only at a good percentage, but also at a high rate. But at the same time, you gotta understand it's not just a 3-point shooting. You also gotta have some type of balance in there. Players that can do things on the inside. Rebound, do their screens. Players that can do the dirty work. And why do you think the Warriors are so successful in their own right? Not only because they are 3-point shooting teams, but because they have Draymond Green, they have Jordan Bell, players that are not 3-point shooting players, at least not at that fantastic rate. I mean, I know Draymond Green has his fair share of games where he can shoot the 3 ball and make it look like he's one of the best 3-point shooters out there, even though he can only do that once every 10 games or so, or when the game's on the line or something like that. But overall, I mean, they're a bit more balanced, I think, than people would actually give them credit for. Sure, they're still one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league. But the thing is, just last year, and this was kind of shocking to me, the Rockets were, according to stats, they were a better 3-point shooting team than the Warriors, and they scored more 3-point shots as well. Like, I think it was about half of their points came from the 3-pointer, and it was like, wow, the Warriors just got outshot by the Rockets in the entire season. And people say, well, you can't outshoot the Warriors. Well, the Rockets might just be the only team that are able to do that, and they were able to do that. And let me just say that if Chris Paul were to have stayed healthy in Game 6 and 7, it would have been a safe bet, or a safe-ish bet, to say that the Rockets would have won the conference finals and eventually win the NBA finals. Like, I think it was a given that whichever team played in the NBA finals representing the West was going to win the NBA finals, because the Cleveland Cavaliers, it was just one guy carrying the team towards the NBA finals, because they were facing a very weak Eastern Conference. And thank you so much once again. If you enjoyed, please like, share, comment, subscribe for more videos. See you guys next time with another video. Peace.